All right, welcome back, everybody. You know, Frontier Communications is a big part of Connecticut's history and an even bigger part of its future. As the company expands access to its high-speed fiber internet across the state, it's making donations to locally loved organizations that are doing good in their communities.
And Caitlin Francis and I had the company's Broadband for Good recipient, DAE of New Haven, which provides STEM education and development programs for underserved youth and adults in Connecticut. Take a look at all the good.
Here to tell us more is the Vice President of External Communications for Frontier Communications, Chrissy Murray, and A.M. Bott, founder and CEO of District Arts and Education of New Haven. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
This is exciting. This is something that is obviously a necessity for so many people, right?
It is. It is. And I've been so lucky. The last few days, I have been here in Connecticut, and I've been talking to our employees about our history here in the state of Connecticut. And we have a long and very, very proud history serving the state with important communications infrastructure. We have also obviously had some challenges in our past, but those are things that in the last few years we've really, really worked to learn from and to grow from. And part of that change that's been happening is that commitment to build high-speed fiber internet across the state of Connecticut. So a few years ago, we set out on a commitment to build high-speed internet across the state, and now we are in 94% of the communities across the state of Connecticut. And access is one thing, but making sure that our internet is in the hands of people who need it most is another thing. And that's exactly why we are here in Connecticut as part of our Broadband for Good program, which I'm happy to tell you about. Yeah. But it's we are donating our high-speed fiber internet to AM's gorgeous, amazing organization.
Yeah, and I want to get into, you know, if you're wondering, well, why is fiber better for us or what's happened in Frontier, we'll talk about that. But first, AM, talk a little bit about the organization, and we can talk about why Frontier is really helping the arts and some disadvantaged folks in New Haven.
Sure, thank you. So we are a nonprofit. We work primarily with public high school students in New Haven County, and then we have a second campus in Stamford, work with Stamford County students. The core is a 10-month program on software engineering. And so the idea is to provide access to 21st century skills, capabilities, mindsets to public high school students who are not getting this access currently.
Yeah. And if you're thinking, okay, I had Frontier once upon a time, and I know, I appreciate you being, you know, candid that there were some challenges. But this, as you said, it's a whole new management team and fiber. Why does fiber matter to us?
Fiber matters for a lot of reasons, but fiber is by far the best connection that anyone can have to high-speed broadband. It is the most reliable. It's 99.9%, not to sound all marketing, but it is 99.9% reliable. It's super fast, and truly it's something like, I think a lot of people are worried about switching to fiber because they don't want to get rid of their cable. But the truth is that you get all the same channels and for a better price. But
oh, you do get a better price. Okay.
You do.
We were just talking about that.
Yes, like whether or not, because everyone has cut the cord, and then you get all these subscription services,
and you're worried.
I'm paying more than I was.
No, we have YouTube
We're now getting
TV.
the best price.
They are.
Yes, you're free for you.
Talk a little bit about why it's so vital to have the access, because you want access to education, you want access to the arts, you want access to culture, you want just communication, just general communication. You want access to each other.
Yeah. So I spent the bulk of my life on the corporate side, and I'm a New Haven kid, came back to do this, and one of the insights that brought me back was this. In the 1800s, we built railroads in this country, and where the railroads got laid determined what cities thrived. And you couldn't put a railroad station everywhere, so you had to choose. 20th century, we laid down highways, and where the highways went determined what cities would thrive. 21st century, we're building a new infrastructure, and the beauty of this infrastructure is that every single human being can have a station, but it requires access. Right. And so why this matters beyond just we can do fun things and we can get access to content is it is a fundamental level setter for folks who were off the railroad tracks, off the rail line.
What a great analogy.
That is a great analogy. And we certainly saw that during the pandemic where we had to rely on generous donors to help cross the digital divide of kids who didn't have access or how difficult it can be. I mean, this is a part of our world we need it. So you're expanding. And for the rest of the folks who are like us, like, we want to check it out because you can actually get better deals and better service now.
Yeah, definitely. Better service. And that is something we've really focused on in the last few years. You know, like I mentioned, we had some challenges and we're well aware of them and we're learning from them. And we have made a huge commitment to change our business and put the Connecticut customer at the center of everything. So, yeah, we're making a big turnaround here, and it's happening right here in Connecticut.
Well, thank you for telling everybody about it on Great Day.
Chrissy and Am, thank you both so much for being here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so for more information about how you could make the switch and save with Frontier Fiber, you can visit Frontier.com to learn about the great work that Frontier is doing to build a future-proof fiber network in Connecticut and the donations through Broadband for Good. Also, visit Frontier.com/Broadband for Good.